When a woman goes out of her way to discredit you, to put you down, to make anything you do, anything you're succeeding at look small, she's a hater and a jealous person. Even if she doesn't know you, that spirit of jealousy, that spirit of envy, that negativity, sometimes that lays dormant in other women until they see the success of another woman or they see something positive and it'll flow up out of them. Case in point, I saw a TikTok video the other day of a young lady receiving some nails, press-on nails from another creator. And I think this person has a nice, TikTok influence or whatever. She's kind of famous. So on TikTok, and this lady sent her some nails. And in her review of the nails, she was very rude. She said, yeah, these are ugly. Oh, these are cute for little girls, but that's ugly. What was you doing? You didn't even take your time. Like, she's saying all of this on the camera, not understanding that she's directly impacting the money of this young lady. Now, when somebody displays a wicked and negative spirit, look, the opposite will happen. Where you mean to be nasty and rude, somebody will actually take interest in that product, and that young lady will still succeed in her business. And this brings me to my point. When a woman goes out of her way to discredit you, even when you are very successful, when you get compliments, when you're seeing the fruit of what you're doing, and somebody still go out of their way to discredit you, it's because they are a hater and they do not have self-love within themselves. When they see another woman doing well, they don't know how to receive it, and thus they have to say nasty things. It was absolutely unnecessary. And this is where your class, where your femininity, where how you carry yourself as a woman truly comes in. You can express your dislike for something without putting somebody else down. I can understand if you don't like it, you don't have to pretend that you like it. But she could have softened the blow a little bit. And we have this time where women feel like they have to be so brash, so harsh with their words, like they got to like twist the knife in to make you feel it in order for them to make a point. And as feminine, confident, classy ladies, we know how to express ourselves without completely destroying somebody's self-image and destroying their business. If she didn't like it, all she had to say was, it's not necessarily my style of nails, or I don't really care for the color, but I appreciate the artistry. I appreciate her sending me this item, and I will definitely pass it along. Thank you. She could have left it like that. Or better yet, as women, when you have discretion, you don't have to say anything if you don't like it. You can just receive it, say thank you, and that thing will collect dust in your closet. You know, as women, I think the urge and the desire to go out of our way, and I'm saying our, even though I'm not like that, but I am a woman, so in unity, I will say when women go out of their way to discredit and put down another woman, when they use overly harsh words and rude behavior in order to be right out mean, this is a learned behavior, and especially for Black women. I speak to Black women, even though this is not just for Black women, but I speak to us specifically because, number one, I am a Black woman, and number two, I have been the recipient and I have heard and been in the environments where I have heard women, especially women of color, be very harsh, be very negative, have put each other down to no end. And a lot of times it's over nothing. It's like we use our words to tear each other apart. And even when there are necessarily good things happening, we still find a way to pinpoint the negative. Like a woman can look her absolute best. She could be feeling herself. She could feel good about herself. She can, you could tell by how a woman is walking and how she's carrying herself and how she's talking, that she's confident and that she feels good about herself. Let's say, one day you went out the house and you had a beautiful outfit on and you were going to an event and you don't normally wear these type of clothes and you just feel really good. And a woman comes along and says to you, oh, you got that big bump on your head, or you got a pimple somewhere, or what's wrong with your ear? Like, these are things that women cannot control. But a woman who is mean-spirited, who is rude, she will pinpoint the one thing. You could be looking absolutely spectacular in every other area, and she will pinpoint the one thing you absolutely don't have any control over, and say something about it in order to make you feel a little bit, self-conscious. Suddenly now you're thinking, oh, I don't really feel that cute anymore. Or is this really nice? Or is this really that? And I know a lot of this kind of behavior typically happens with women when they're in their 20s, teens, 20s. But believe it or not, a lot of these bully, mean girl type of habits still happen to women in their 30s, 40s, and so on. You have a lot of women who have such a chaotic spirit. They're full of chaos. They're full of drama. They're full of toxicity. They really don't know how to treat other women. They don't have that sisterhood mentality. They look at every other woman as if they're their enemy. They're threatened by other women, easily threatened by other women. And when you're easily threatened by another woman, you just say things and do things to try to make another woman feel like it's something wrong with her. And ladies, this is where your confidence comes in. Because if you are a confident, feminine woman, you're living in your femininity, you're living in that essence of who you are as a woman, undoubtedly you're going to attract haters. You're going to attract jealous people. And in this instance where I just gave you that story, I don't believe the young lady that made the press-on nails, I don't think she knows her personally, so that's not really the case. But this other lady who received the nails, her behavior was the ideal of a mean-spirited woman, of a woman who is generally brass and rude with her speech. And when a woman is more feminine, she can dislike something but still know how to let you down easily or express her dislike without making you feel like a fool. And when women are more masculine in nature and when they're definitely insecure about themselves, they feel good when they put down the work or the image of another woman. You have to understand that. And understanding that will help you as a woman to stay confident, to not be shaken by the words or the actions of a jealous woman. When you understand that women who speak that way and act that way are typically insecure, even though this lady, she is an influencer, I believe she's pretty popular on TikTok. So it's not like she doesn't have something going on for herself, if you want to call TikTok something going on for yourself. She has notoriety, she has that following, I guess, but she still went out of her way to say the word ugly. This is ugly, this is that, I don't like that, this look like it's for little kids, belittling it. And as women, those backhanded compliments where she gave a compliment to the nails, but said, oh yeah, that looked like it's for little kids or something. Was all of that necessary? That kind of thing. And as feminine women, sometimes it's hard for us to deal with those type of women because they're always looking for issue where there is no issue. They don't know how to just let things be. Like, if you don't like it, that's fine. But why did you have to say all of that? And for me, I take issue with a person, especially when it's attached to your money. If somebody goes out of their way to put down a product or a service, especially of another woman, and then I'll go back to it, yes, of another Black woman. If we are trying our hardest as women to do well in the world, to make names for ourselves, quote, make names for ourselves, to be in business and to be women of industry and women of influence, as a woman, it is not a good look to go out of your way to put down another woman, whether she be Black or another nationality, but especially Black women, because a little bit of history, knowing where we came from and the things that we have to overcome and still have to overcome till this day, to hear another Black woman put down a creator or a creative, a woman of color, that's very disheartening. And I think, once again, it goes back to that learned mentality, because when you are around other women who are celebrating, putting each other down, with our reality TV culture and how women constantly backbite each other, they act like they have genuine concern, but yet they talk behind each other's back about said concerns. And I understand that as women, a lot of our nature, sometimes we can be a little bit gossipy, talk about stuff. But there's a difference between talking about something and trying to put somebody in a negative light. And when somebody is a hater or a jealous person, no matter how great the thing is that you're doing, they will still try to put that in a negative light. If you're a woman who is working in business, you're starting your own businesses, you're doing different things, and let's say you're married, they'll say something to the effect, well, she's doing all these things, she's doing that. He must not have no money. She's doing a lot of stuff. I don't know. He must not be doing nothing. And I have to say, that kind of thing is where people who are very envious and threatened and they don't feel good about their lives, they have to find something. They can't just accept the fact that, hey, this woman, she has drive. This woman, she has talent and she has resilience. And when a woman has that, that makes you a powerhouse and that makes you a magnet for jealous women, for women who like to hate and find issues where there are no issues. So going back to how we can express ourselves as women while still being classy and feminine and not being brash with our speech. You do not have to fake that you like something. You do not have to fake that you like someone. But there is such a thing as being cordial and keeping the atmosphere light. A woman who is in her femininity, a woman who has true class and decorum about herself, she is not going to stir up drama and make tension in the environment. If she feels that she cannot control herself, and women who are feminine and classy have self-control, but if you feel like you cannot control yourself, you will remove yourself from that situation, or you will address it in a way that doesn't make you look like the stereotypical angry black woman or a crazy woman if you're not black. Now, I understand that there are going to be certain circumstances where you just can't control yourself. You're going to be a certain way. Look, we're not actors. We're not performers. We all have our moments. And I always say, the only thing that can really get me out of character and get me kind of like don't care about anything is my children. When it comes to matters of my children, you probably won't see me talking so nice, depending on what it is, because that mama bear instinct comes out. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about when you are in the company of a woman who you don't necessarily like, or maybe she did something or she gave you something that you don't like. You don't have to go out of your way and say, did you just start? Like, this is a good one that I've heard before. When I first started braiding my hair, this is a real story. I first started learning how to braid my own hair. And I had just put the hair in, but one of the ladies that I was around, she said, oh, what, you about to take your hair out? And I had just put the hair in. And to me, it didn't look that bad. And she knew that the day before I didn't have those braids. But she went ahead and said, oh, you about to take your hair out? Because she wanted to go out of her way. That was her little slick way of saying that my braids didn't look that good. They look messy. That was her slick way. Instead of her coming out saying your braids don't look good, she said, oh, you about to take your braids out? The little passive aggressive thing that women do. That kind of stuff. Instead of her just minding her business, and I truly believe that minding your business saves lives, okay? That's just my opinion. Minding your business keeps everything where it needs to be. But when a woman is insecure, once again, because I still was looking cute with my braids, even though they was a little bit messy, I didn't know how to grip, it looked nice. And I still looked cute and I still got compliments. And that even more so made her little hateration come out and make that little comment. So when you are a confident woman where you're trying to just do things for yourself, everyday regular things, you have to anticipate the little snarky, catty, snide remarks of insecure, jealous, mean-spirited women. And you have to ask yourself, like, where does that come from? Why are women like that? Why are some women like that? Why are some women so nasty, so rude? Why do they feel like they have to say something negative all the time? In my opinion, I think a lot of it goes back to their home life. So being a woman who's always been in the workforce and you work in office environments, you're just out in the world, you can tell when a woman doesn't really have a great home life because of how she talks when she's at work. Now, I'm not saying we all don't have moments when we're at work, of course, because it's work. Sometimes people are tired, they're having a moment. But if a woman's typical nature is to be rude, to be mean-spirited, to just talk down to everybody, to just be mean, it's because, in my opinion, her home life is not that great. And I'm not putting down any woman. If you're a single mother, you do that, or you do it to the best of your ability. I'm not saying any of this to put anybody down. But a lot of times when a woman doesn't have a man in her house, when she doesn't have anybody else to come home to, especially if she's doing it by herself, that can be frustrating. Or let's say she doesn't even have children. It's just her and the cats or whatever. Or her home life is just not the way she wants it to be. And it's not to say that you put those women down, but if a woman is dissatisfied with her life, that's the point I'm making. If a woman is dissatisfied with her life, seeing your little confident self, seeing you trying new things and being light and smiling and being nice to people and just, you might not feel 100%, but you're doing your best to still be a kind woman, to be a nice woman. And she sees your little cute self, confident, smiling, trying to make conversation self, walking through the office. Meanwhile, she's just mean and miserable, and she just want to get this day over with and don't talk to me. When she sees you being that way, that's going to trigger something in her that's going to cause her to want to do anything and say anything she can to get you to come down to her level. See, your happiness can irritate people who are jealous and who are haters. Your happiness and your confidence and your tenacity and your resilience can irritate someone who has given up on life and has accepted that they just have to be miserable with everything. Your confidence will make a woman who is threatened by you feel like you are infringing on some kind of invisible territory that you don't even know about. She will try to make you feel like you are doing something wrong by trying to see the bright side of things and actually motivate it to do things in life. If you're a woman, like I used to come into my office and I sell handmade jewelry. So I would tell them about that, give out business cards and all of that kind of stuff. And there was always this one coworker who was like, here we go. Like, no, I'm good. Thank you. No, I'm good. She see me coming with my business card. No, I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you. Dad, you can't even take the business card? Like, you can't even take it? Why? Like, is it that bad? You can't even just look? It's like, women are really like that. And when you really understand the game and see how a lot of women are, it helps you as a woman to just stay confident and just keep doing what you do and to know they're out there and to not even worry about them. But that little stuff, I mean, it can be exhausting to deal with. It can be annoying because you really, truly don't understand. Especially when you're a woman who's more lighthearted, you're going about your life. You don't really focus on what other people are doing unless it's presented to you. And then you try to celebrate everybody. You try to celebrate, encourage, inspire. For me, I am a natural encourager. I like to see people win. I like to specifically see women win. I like to see us cute, wealthy, happy, healthy, and full of the Spirit of God. That's what I like to see. But there are some women who get irritated if you have too much of any of those things. And I feel sorry for them because that's no way to be. Like, what pleasure does a woman get out of putting another woman down by saying, oh, your hair doesn't look great, even if the woman is feeling good about herself? Now, disclaimer, if you're a friend, a family member, don't let your girls go out here looking crazy. If they got on something that don't look right, if they might be doing something that is not right, you can encourage, critique, and correct without being rude and nasty and right out mean. I feel like I kind of have a little bit of a gift of knowing how to do that. Now, I have moments, and I have had moments where I just was straight up like, nope, that's ugly. I don't like it. But it was in its proper context. It wasn't just random. I don't randomly see women and be like, ugh. Like, that's just not me. Like, I don't know. I think because I am cool with me that I really don't do those kind of things. And women who are like that, again, I think it comes back to their home life, not being satisfied with what they have in their own life. And then number two, the upbringing. We cannot escape the fact that a lot of women have been brought up with some very mean and miserable mamas, aunties, grandmoms. They were all very nasty, all very rude, always willing and able to put another woman down at every opportunity they got. And once again, it's like a trickle down effect. When a woman is mean-spirited, when a woman is rude, when a woman is nasty and just goes out of her way to belittle other women, it comes from somewhere. It's not just like a random thing. And a lot of times it is the upbringing. I've seen videos of women and people celebrating little girls. I think they were in some kind of cheerleading troop or something. And instead of them like showing their numbers, saying, hey, with the pom-poms and all of that, they walked up like, doing all that kind of stuff and mean mugging and all that. And these girls, at the most, the oldest had to be like 10 years old, but they were walking up to the front of the line, mean mugging, doing all that kind of stuff. Instead of being cute, they had on the pom-poms with the barrettes and the little cute tutus and everything. You would think they would use that as an occasion to smile and to, celebrate their cheer. I mean, they're cheer leaders. And yet, I'm pretty sure some adult coached them to be, once you get to the front of the line, me mug. I can't even me mug because it's just not me. It's just not me. But my point of saying this is that a lot of times it's a learned behavior. We teach girls sometimes at a very young age to be mean. We celebrate that. A lot of people clap for that. Like, what did you say to that girl today? Little girls in 3rd grade. What did you say to that girl today when she was trying to take your pencil? I said, back off. Oh, go ahead, boo, go ahead. Go ahead. Like, we celebrate those kind of things. And I say we, not me personally, but a lot of times in the culture, and not just black people, it's all nationalities that tend to celebrate the little messy, mean behavior. So, once again, it starts with the upbringing a lot of times. Learn behaviors. Women are being taught from young girls how to be mean-spirited. And for me, that is something that I never wanted to teach my daughter. I taught my daughter that you have to be strong, you have to be resilient, you have to be confident, but know how to treat people. Don't be mean to people for no reason. And my daughter had a moment in her life where she thought being the girl that was going to be, trying to overpower other people was the thing to do. And I had to quickly remind her that that is not what we do. That is not what we do. And I apologize because I live in the city. I had to kindly remind her that that is not what we do. We do not mean mug, and we do not, just do things for no reason. We don't treat people meanly for no reason. So as women, we must be mindful to not use these mean, catty behaviors as a way of trying to overpower and make women feel less than what they are. It's not a good look, and it's not a good look for us as women. If we are teaching people that, okay, in order to get respect, especially as a woman, if we're teaching our girls in order to get respect, in order to get treated well, you have to be a bully, you have to be able to overpower, manipulate, and make other people feel bad, that's not a good look, and it's not feminine. And on this channel, we discuss femininity, womanhood, and I give you life advice. So, if any of that interests you, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. Dealing with rude, negative women can be very harsh. And when you understand that a lot of how they are comes from things that are out of your control, it doesn't affect you so much when they spew their venom at you. But in the meantime, ladies, be aware. And if you have these traits, if you have been susceptible, or you grew up with a mean mother, a mean auntie, a mean cousin, and taught you that being mean is somehow cute as a girl, that putting other women down and being rude and brash with your words is cute, we really need to stop that behavior. There's a time and place for everything. I'm not saying that you're just going to be nicey nice all the time, let people walk all over you. But having class and decorum, that is not just a saying, that is something that we actually have to do as women. Even in the case where we don't like something, even in the case where, something really triggered us and made us feel uncomfortable, or somebody is saying something and we just don't like it, you can express that without outright putting somebody down. And I'm not saying in the case of somebody harming you, I'm saying when somebody really feels good about something they're doing and you don't like it, you can express that without putting them down. That lady was way out of line in my opinion, and as women, we have to do better. All right? Like and subscribe to the channel. Share the content. Take care.